guys, I'm Sherry Criswell, independent designer for Chalk Couture, and I have another Kickstart transfer I want to show you all. It's this one, Love You to the Fridge and Back. I think it's really cute. Work hard, snack often. And this time I'm going to put it on one of Chalk Couture's surfaces, this Bristow sign that turns. And you see I had for Easter. And this house was clean yesterday. Sorry you missed it. I'm going to clean that all off and put this on it. So the first thing I want to do is take this off by unscrewing the top. Take this out, put this aside. On this little bow, I put it on with a glue dot, so I could just take this right off. This is, of course, a chalk surface, reusable surface. It comes off with water, our chalk paste. So I'm going to spray it each side with water. Let it sit a little bit. And then I'm going to take it off with our scraper. And if there's any ghosting left, I'm going to take it with our board eraser. So after we get that on there, it's been on here since Easter time. So now, as you see, water activates it, and that's how you can take it off. If you don't want to take it off and want to leave it on there, no need to spray anything permanently on it. Just leave it alone because it dries hard. It's not really liquid, it's more like a yogurt consistency or egg white, but it dries hard within about 4 or 5 minutes. You can rub on it and it will not come off. As you can see, I have to put water to reactivate it, but it doesn't come off that easily, so you don't have to worry about it. It'll be just fine. Just a little bit of elbow grease, and if I weren't on a video, I would let the water sit on it just a little bit to soften it up, but I figured we don't want it to be too long. But I do want to show you the whole process, how you can reuse it. Everything's reusable. The transfers are reusable. They say 8 to 12 times, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on what you use it on and how well you take care of it. Now, I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel, wipe off my scraper, and take the excess off here. And what it is with the transfers, when it starts not being usable again, is it loses its stickiness. The other side, the back side, is sticky. It helps get that fresh, crisp print of your sign that you're putting on there. And eventually that does wear off. So it's still usable. It's just harder to keep it still, is all. All right, I am going to use a baby wipe, or not a baby wipe, sorry, Clorox wipe on here to get some of this excess off. Some of it kind of goes in the edges and the crevices. And if you can see it, there is a little bit of ghosting because it has been on there for a while. And that is what our board eraser is really good for. And I have it over here in some water. And there comes 2 in a pack. And it's just, it's like a magic eraser without the chemicals. And it takes that ghosting right off. All right, let's get paper towel on that. And let's go over on the other side. Okay, a little more water. This wasn't on quite as long, but close, so this could do the same thing. I love this, but I have the transfer, so I can always put it back. And we have lots of colors. Of course, white always looks good on chalkboard. But if you want to customize it to your colors, it's easy. Just put whatever color you want. Let's get the excess off. And use my wipe. And you'll notice that there still is a little bit of ghosting, so I am using the board eraser. So, just like that, we got a clean board ready to go. All the sides cleaned off. So this is why I don't wear jewelry that much when I'm doing this, because I got my hands in chalk and ink and water. So, but this is my happy place. This is where I de-stress and I just enjoy it. All right, I'm going to let this dry while I show you how I get the transfer ready. Okay, the transfer comes in this plastic packet, and it has a hanger if you want to hang it up like on a regular hanger in your closet, or if you want to store it flat in a drawer. That works good. On the back are all the cleaning instructions, and it just has a sticky tab here that take off. And I save this and put it back in there later. All right, now this is a cutting line. This is an 8.5 by 11 size transfer. It's called B size. We have one smaller, that's 5 by 7. It's like you have almost two 5 by 7s on here. Now you could just cut along there with the scissors, which is what a lot of people do. I do it a little different. To show you this, on the back side, it's sticky, as you can see. And this is the backer sheet. You're going to put this back onto the backer sheet when you're done. And that's how you're going to store it, in that plastic bag, or however you want to store it. You want to make sure that the sticky side of the transfer is the glossy side of the backer. So, what I'm going to do before I cut this is mark the back. And I'm just going to put on here to the fridge and back. That way, when you go to put this back on, if you put it back on where it's printed, you know it's the wrong side. So what I do is I just score the line. So I'm going to take my ruler and my scissors, and I'm just going to score a line a little bit wider so I have more room. The reason I do it is so I have more room to put these transfers back on. To me, that's one of the hardest things, to fit these back on there. So this gives me a little bit more room. That's what I like. Okay, so you just pull this up, take that strip off, and we're ready to chalk. Now the first side, I am going to put "Love you" to the fridge and back. And if I bring this up closer, you can see there are some dots in the netting. See, all this is silkscreen netting. That is what makes such a nice, crisp design. And there are little dots in here. And that's a distress, where the transfer does all the work for you. Now, since it is a new transfer, I do want to fuzz it. And that just means, this is a fuzz cloth. This size is for fuzzing. This side is a microfiber side. It's more for drying your transfer. So this one, I'm just going to put this on here, and all it is doing really is taking some of the stickiness off of your transfer. But I'm not going to do it too much because there's a lot of open screen here. That's all this blank space. And so there's no sticky stuff where the net screen is. So I do want it to stay still. Okay, now I'm going to take this and try to center it as much as I can. Let's see, let's put this on this mat. It has I don't know, graphs or measurements on here, so it might help a little bit with lining it up. Now, since there is so much open space here, you want to make sure you don't have any bubbles. That's the only problem with a big open space like that. And you certainly can bring it to the light, and to see, you can see through then and see how well it's placed. I'm not too worried about this because it's kind of on a slant anyway. I am going to use Peachy Keen for this one. This is not our new formula. This is older, but it's still really good. But I do love our new paste. It's a dream to work with. All right, the tools we use are squeegees, and my favorite is this small squeegee. I use it almost all the time, except for great big surfaces. Actually, I could probably use this size this time. And you just take it and you smooth it on. with the squeegee. I almost have it at a 90-degree angle. Up and down, rather. Okay, you're going to take the excess, put it back in the jar. All right, I'm hearing sounds. Every time I go live, I mess up on something. Okay, now I'm going to pull this straight up from the straight edge, not the bias, either top to bottom or side to side, and just hold this down and pull it up. And there's my first side. Now, when I'm all done with this video, I will take this and bring it to the sink. Wash the front and back. When you get water on the sticky side, it loses its stickiness. When it dries, it comes back. I use water, just room temperature water, and I use my hands first to get all the chalk paste off. And then I'll use a board eraser and get any more of it off. End up with a wipe front and back. Let it dry, sticky side up. And then the stickiness comes back into it. And put it back on your backer sheet. All right, now I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to turn it over and do it on the other side. Now the other Kickstart transfer that we have is this one, which is Cook, Eat, Clean, Repeat, with some silverware that you could use any way you want, and a line for borders. You can do anything you want with that. These three, and the one I did yesterday, you can purchase by himself, or you can earn them free. Here is the one I did yesterday. Love is Brewing, Fresh Daily, and blah, blah, blah coffee. I want to make sure this is dry, so I am going to blow dry this before I turn it over. If you look at that close, you can see all the little dots in there. That is distressed by the transfer. It's supposed to do that. It's kind of rainy and dreary here in Florida, sunshine state, but it's a rainy season and we do need it, so I'm fine with that. Now when you're done with this paste, I'm going to use a little bit on the other side, but what you do is get all the stuff off the edges and take a paper towel or a damp cloth and wipe off, so you can seal it good when you put it back. Now the stuff that isn't the brand new stuff, I'll put a little bit of water in there, distilled water, and just put the top back on so it maybe won't dry out quite as fast. the new paste, and it is marked new formula, you don't have to do that. Anything you get on the shop now is the new paste. Now I can go ahead, I think, and yeah, this is cooled off. And as you can see, I'm rubbing on this cautiously at first because I want to make sure it's dry. It's always good to let it sit a little bit, but I think this will be fine. To go ahead and do the other side. Now this one, I am also going to fuzz, and you can also use your t-shirt to fuzz or terry cloth towel if you don't have a fuzz cloth. That will work just fine. Okay, let's put this on here, and I'm just going to put this on a palette quite a few times, just get a little bit of that stickiness off. Check the back, make sure you don't have any real big clumps that could interfere with the transfer. I did not see any. All right. Oops. It is sticky. Well, let's put some more. Put it on a few more times. All right, again, just bring it up to the light. And I usually just eyeball it. You certainly can measure it if you prefer. Another trick you could do if you don't have a light source close to you, a light table works good. If you just put it on top of a light table, you can see right through it to check and see. Now, I am going to do white on work and snack. I'm going to do copper. This is shimmer, copper shimmer. And on the hard and often, and the little decorations here on each side, I'm going to do in this Peachy King. So I'm going to start out with the white. And on our new ones, we have the seal. Just take that off, put it in the cap. And so work and snack, I want to do, see how smooth and nice that is? I'm just going to plop it on here, right above it. And then I'm going to take the squeegee, the smaller one, and I'm just going to be careful not to go, which I almost did right here, over too far. In that case, I'll just change my color scheme. Or since this is done on a chalkboard, you can take this off and clean it off and start all over. Now, if you were to do it on wood, you might not be able to do that so easily because it'll soak into the wood and it might be hard to get that off. All right, let me me get some of this back in here. Go to my next one. I get carried away sometimes and I forget what I was going to color it as. Okay, then you take off the excess and smooth out the lines. Make sure you have everything covered, like I forgot a little bit of the K. All right, put that back. Now I'm going to do the gold. Shimmer gold. Pretty, huh? Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. It's my new favorite, I think. We do have some new awesome shimmers coming, and some colors too, in July. Okay, take the excess off. You want a nice smooth. If you leave a chunk of paste on here, it'll show a line through your screen. So you want to take that off. Plus, you don't want to leave a chunk of paste on the transfer just to get washed down the drain. You want to save it because you can use it, reuse it. All right, now I'm going to do the little quotation marks or decoration here on the side in the Peachy Keen. I'm not sure if I want to use this or the other one. Let's try this. This is one of our other squeegees. It's called, well, I call it the hockey stick because that's what it looks like. But I think it's a multi-purpose tool. And it's got the smaller squeegee on the end that helps with some of the smaller designs to get in there. Or if you want to do this one all in one color, it'd be fast and easy. If you're going to do that, I would suggest you use white, bright white, like the work and the snack. Okay, now hold it down and pull straight up from the straight edge. And if you do it slowly, I just put my thumb in there, okay? You can see if anything needs to be chalked before you completely bring it up. And a lot of our transfers, like I told you before, has distress in it. So it's very forgiving. Now, doesn't that look wonderful? I love that. Then when it's dry, we're going to put it back in the stand. And don't forget, when you're done, to clean your jar so your paste will last longer. They say once it's open, 6 to 12 months, I think. I don't know. Mine usually are gone before that, so. All right, let's put this over here. I'll clean all that up later. And let's put this back. Or let me put it back, rather, on here. Love you to the fridge and back. Work hard, snack often. Being careful not to put my fingers in there because I don't think it's dry yet. Work hard, snack often. Love you to the fridge and back. I love this stand. Cool. What do you guys think? So, if you get a chance, I have a VIP group. I'd love to have you join it. It's a free group. So, and that's Sherry's Lynn VIP group. VIP and Chalk Couture, Club Couture group. Thanks a lot for watching, and that's it for today. Bye.